Okay, let me talk a little bit. This is Dave Wagner. I've known Dave since he was in grade school, I think. And he not only grew up with toys, but he's still playing with toys. So why don't you tell me what you got here, Dave?
Well, this is a 427 Cobra. The original ones were built in 1965 through 67. There was only 300 built back in the day. And this one was built by a company called Cobra Motorsports. They're out of Provo, Utah, near Salt Lake City. And they actually sourced this body to an aircraft company in Poland. They used to build MiG fighter jets. Once the Cold War was over, they had this factory with not a lot of demand for jet airplanes, so the Kirkhams contract with them to build this car. It's basically a replica of the original car. They actually sent a car over to Poland where they kind of reverse engineered it, and it's the same English wheel to roll the fenders out, gas welling on the seams. So what you got is a very close replication of the 427 Cobra. I get them like this from the Kirkhams, take them apart, paint them, and then assemble them. And then depending on what the customer wants, we can do it very, very original, or if they want to modify it, maybe put bigger wheels and tires.
Okay, what are you going to do with this one, Dave?
This one's, I sold this to a gentleman. I told him to have it in about 4 or 5 months. So what we're doing right now is we're going to clean it up, we're going to paint it, and then over the winter time we'll assemble it.
Okay.
Very good.
Let's go take a look at this other job over here, right?
This is...
Hang on a second. Okay. Start over.
So this is another 289. This is a street car. This is what Cobra started out as. So when this is done, it'll have a 289 engine, a 4-speed manual transmission, and wire wheels. And this will be exactly like a 1963 street Cobra.
Okay,
so
let's
this
see.
is aluminum body.
You got it all. You got the frame all taped up, eh?
The frames come to us powder coated black, so we cover those with tin foil, and then the aluminum body. We sand them, we metal prep them, we put an epoxy zinc chromate primer on them, and then we put this polyester primer surfacer that we can sand out and make it absolutely smooth.
You do all your own paint work?
Well, I do all the prep here in the building,
okay.
And then I take it to another shop that has a paint booth.
Oh, they can do all the graphics and everything for you?
They do all that, yeah.
Okay.
They'll do the base coat, clear coat, and...
well, if they did a couple of those cars out there, they do pretty good.
They do very good.
Yeah. What are you going to show us here?
So this is the primer with a black guide coat. It's just thin black paint, but what you do is when you sand it, you can see all the imperfections, so you sand it so all the black goes away. You can see some of the stripes from the metalwork, and you just go until it all becomes smooth. I can tell there's a low spot right there because it's not sanding.
Okay.
So we just sand that. This is 80 grit. We get it all done. We re-guide coat it and do it with 240, and then you eventually end up at about 600. And that way, when you're done, it'll be absolutely flat.
Looks like a gold-plated Cobra, Dave.
Well, this is the same car as that silver one we just looked at, but it was made out of copper instead of aluminum. But the chassis is a replica of an original Cobra chassis, and the Kirkhams, almost like as an engineering exercise, asked the folks in Poland if they could build one out of copper. So it's all welded together copper. It's polished. It weighs a lot because the copper is probably about maybe 100,000 thick. Typically a Cobra weighs the body about 47 pounds with just the skin. This one probably weighs 2,000 pounds.
You've got a big hole up here. What are you going to put in here?
Well, this will have a 427 Ford engine.
That's the one you showed me, the engine over there?
That's it.
Okay, we'll take a
the
picture of
engine
that.
comes from Shelby American, so they retooled the Ford block, cylinder heads, and intake. So you get basically a brand new 427 engine.
Okay. It's a little different version, eh?
This is a 289 Cobra. The last two we looked at were 427s. This is a 289 race car. It's a replica made by the Kirkhams too in Poland. Aluminum body, and it's very, very original. So this customer took pictures of an original car, and he's just trying to replicate it as close as possible. So it's a 1963 US RRC comp car. It's got a 289.
Yeah, what kind of engine has it got?
It's a 289 Ford engine, but it's fitted with Weber carburetors, like the ones were back in the day. It's got a T10 transmission, which the original car had. It's got a lot of original parts. The wiring harness is remanufactured by a company called Rhode Island wiring. They do a really nice job. So what he'll have is basically a replica of one of the 3 or 4 original Cobras